welcome to Top 5 with the fellas. We have last week's was Top 5 people we thought should have been in the Hall of Fame that aren't. Obviously, we had some omissions that we agreed on. But yeah, what did the comments say this week, fellas?
It was a good one for people getting back to us. Excuse my voice, I am ill again. We had a lot of comments, to be fair. Even your old account chipped in. LP fan has put awesome vid. China. Demolition, Mickey James, William Regal, and Umanga, as William Regal would say.
Umanga.
Desert Man has gone Goldust, Raven, Jim Johnson, William Regal, Chris Jericho.
There seems to be an ongoing theme with like a couple of people in everybody's, apart from this next one. Mr. Green, Earl Hebner. Number 4, Dynamite Kid. What? Earl Hebner he's a fucking legend.
Mate. He's the iconic referee.
He's the most iconic referee. Then Lil Nate, definitely. And then Mike Chioda. The Midnight Express, Erwin R. Shyster, and Bam Bam Bigelow.
Top Rope's gone Goldust, Shamrock, Shane O'Mac, China, Christian.
Yep, fair.
Yeah, with you on your shout. Asian Nightmare was a little bit angry for some reason. This was the one that he had.
Don't go in the whole statement. Just read his 5.
No, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
No, you don't need to.
Well, number 5, he's done this to take the piss. Ryback. Who wants Ryback in our fucking Hall of Fame?
Hey, we mentioned his name again the other day, and we got.
No, it's because I said the C-U-N-T. It's because I said the C-U-N-T word. Vince Russo. For killing wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Cornette for his shit views. Vince McMahon and Brock Lesnar. He also goes in about Owen Hart and shit and telling us the reason why, and don't say it's because of this. We fucking said that in the video. Just saying.
Yeah. There's a thing on that, mate. There's a lot of documentaries now floating around on Owen Hart. Dark Side of the Ring being one of them. Go and have a watch. You'll understand a lot more why we say it's Martha Hart that does not want him in. But will not let him have anything to do with it.
We did say that as well.
Yeah.
Ullery wrestling fella, my mate John. He's got Miss Elizabeth, King Kong Bundy, Lillian Garcia, Victoria, and Sable. Very female heavy one, that one. Which I like.
I agree with all of them.
Yeah.
However, there's one person that goes in above all them females. Bar Miss Elizabeth, probably. China.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Miss Elizabeth goes in first.
So with Miss Elizabeth, the only dodgy thing with Miss Elizabeth is the link with Lex Luger. That's the...
Yeah, but
then Lex Luger's going in now.
Going in this year.
So that makes me think...
Is she next?
Next year, maybe. Juicy Usa. New Jack. Haku. Taz. The Nation of Domination as a group. And then The Rock, the final boss.
Final boss!
Heel Jack has gone Shield.
This is probably my favourite list out of everybody's, by the way, sorry.
Yeah. Shield, Tommy Dreamer, Fit Finlay, Dean Malenko, Owen Hart.
And then Burt Angle has chimed in. Number 5, Bruce Pritchard. Number 4, Brian Pillman. Number 3, British Bulldog, but he's already in it. Number 2, Big Show. And number 1, Bautista, as Santino Marella would say.
Bautista. But yeah,
the comments.
Happy days. So, the first one that we're doing today is Wrestlemania Moments. As says this week's. Really hard list to put together, but I think I've got my list. But I know I've got my list.
I did mine as soon as the video was over, and then I've come on today, and John's given me a clip round the arrow and said sort it out. So then I've remembered other things and was like, it's better than that. I have one omission off it, which I'm probably going to get stick for in the comments, but we roll with it, and it's my choice, so fuck you all.
Exactly.
Yeah. I've left one off that I'm going to probably get grief as well because I've left off, but I've explained to you guys why it's not in there now.
Yeah.
It wasn't there to come out. I don't care. I'll go first.
Yeah.
I'm going in number 5. I did have Hulk Hogan slams Andre because that is the moment. But I took it out and I have replaced it with the Hardy Boys return at 38.
33.
Oh, 33, yes. I can't even read my own writing. 33. Yes,
so
33.
you took out one of the iconic moments. And can I tell you something else as well? That is my number 5 as well.
The reason I took it out, don't get me wrong, Andre in being slammed by Hogan is like if I think WrestleMania, that's one of the first things that pops in my head because that's the image of WrestleMania we grew up with.
Yeah.
Every year, I'm sure that the vignette used to open up.
WrestleMania 3.
Yeah.
With him slamming it, and that used to be it. But I remember sitting in my room at daft o'clock in the morning, reading all the online shit on Twitter, all the Hardy Boys, and going, no, they can't be because they rested Supercard of Honor last night. They're on the other side of this. They're there. They can't be. And then New Day come out, like, yeah, that's the New Day in. And then they didn't come in, and they dropped the Hardy Boys music. And I remember popping in my bedroom and being told off because I woke my dad up.
I am going to purposely not say anything because it's higher up my list, and then I'll go to why with me, personally.
I don't know why.
So my number 5 is Nikki Bella and John Cena's engagement at WrestleMania 33.
Tell me he didn't just say that.
Yeah, it's a huge moment in his life.
No, he's taking the piss. I know he's taking the piss.
It's great. It's
because
just a great
he's not
moment.
stopping when he talks. That's when you know he takes the piss. I've learned it. What's your actual number 5? Keith Lee.
Nikki and John Cena engagement.
Fuck off. No, it's not. It'll never be. No, it's not in anyone's top 5.
Please tell me this is legit. And
is this an actual thing?
Keith Lee JD moment.
Yeah.
If this is a thing, you know you are getting the piss took out of you every single time we're on live for this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right, okay.
My number 4 is...
Whoa, hang on. I've not spoken about my number 5 properly.
Oh, right. Okay, so I thought you did. I thought you'd already said something.
No. It's not actually the Hardy Boys. It's Funaki winning the hardcore title at WrestleMania 60. No, it's not. It's Hardy Boys returning. I didn't watch Ring of Honor. I didn't have a clue. I knew they were in some kind of match, and it was with another tag team I didn't know about. And they weren't going to be there.
Well, you now know that
Usos.
tag team.
Was it the Usos? I thought they were at WrestleMania 33 in the tag match. Were they not? That's weird. Yeah, and I a couple of lads from work, we all watched it in the conservatory. And New Day came out, and I went, well, that's New Day in the match. Which I weren't asked about. I liked the New Day, so I wasn't bothered. And they said there's one more team, and then they looked like they were about to start walking, but then they didn't. And then the music hit, and I went mad. And then the middle who loves Jeff Hardy was asleep, and he heard me screaming, so he ran down, and he saw Jeff Hardy, and he went mental as well.
So I went mad for 2 weeks. I actually went mad twice. So I absolutely soaked in the moment of like going mad. Oh my god, no way! And then I was like, well, pissed off because I wanted Enzo and Cass to win the match.
I did, to be fair. I did.
The exact same, mate.
I was fuming. I was like, yeah. Oh fuck, Enzo and Cass are not winning now.
Yeah,
bollocks.
That's exactly. I think that's what I did. I was like, fuck, Enzo and Cass aren't winning.
Oh, question. Can we put clips in that I've recorded?
Yeah.
Because I've recorded this moment and have my footage of it.
Depends how loud the music is in the background. But WWE don't own that music, so we could do. We could try it, and if not, I can just take the music out and just have it over.
Yeah, if these weeks even clip out, because if they copyrighted, they'd clip it out for us anyway, don't they? So
yeah, WWE don't own that music because it was used in AEW and TNA.
And it's short footage as well.
Yeah. So
we'll
I will send you the clip of
yeah,
this.
send me.
Because I
Any
go
WrestleMania 33
fucking
moments
mental.
that you've got there in there, send me over. I'll put them.
I think I've got them all.
Cool. So your number 5 was Miz and Maurice, which I still don't believe, and you're still going to tell us
No.
what your actual number 4 is.
Nicky and John's.
Oh,
Nicky and John Cena.
Miz and Maurice. They were against Maurice and Miz.
Yeah, there was again.
I still don't
match.
believe that's your number 4, but tell us what your number 5. Tell us what your number 4 is.
It is Kofi Mania at WrestleMania 35.
Shit!
Fuck!
I forgot Kofi.
It's not even on my maybe list.
So
oh my
it's
God.
it's not on me honorable mentions. Fuck.
So Kofi Mania, been there, seen Seth win the earlier match. Like, well, there's no chance Kofi's winning this now. It's over. They're not giving us 2 happy things in a night.
It's exactly what I said as well at the start of the night.
So we're all sat there in the crowd. Everyone around us were saying the exact same thing. We're like, oh, well, it's not happening. It's a nice moment. Kofi's got a WrestleMania, like a high-profile WrestleMania match. He deserves it. And it was just such an emotional like release when he won. I was crying. I had tears in my eyes. As seeing the New Day in with him having that moment. It was such a lovely moment for someone that deserves it. Obviously, this will be replaced by Xavier Mania eventually when Xavier has his moment at
when
WrestleMania.
that happens, you get me and John running around naked.
Yeah.
He doesn't know this. I just told him right now.
Fine.
My
Kofi
number
Mania
4.
shirt's the one shirt I regret not getting as well. One of the only shirts.
Yeah,
not many.
Mine as well.
So I've got it somewhere, and I just don't know where it is. Knowing my move and everything, I just don't know where it is.
That and the Roman Reigns beating cancer one. I was glad I didn't pick that one up. My number 4, there was one in place of it. It has been changed. It was originally Roman Reigns becoming undisputed champion at 38. However, I've rewatched the match back and it was shit. And then it was staying in until when I was sat here about 10 minutes ago and went, oh shit, I've just remembered one. My number 4 is Wrestlemania. Daniel Bryan winning the world title.
It's a good one. It's a good one. It was in my list.
As much as I want to put Roman in this list, let's face it, bar 40.
35 and coming back from cancer to beat Drew McIntyre.
Shit match. I mean, the moment was great. The moment was mint.
Yeah.
But for me, the match itself was just poor.
You think of hindsight now, that match was literally thrown together to get him in a Mania.
Half the matches at that Mania was thrown together just to get everyone on. That's why they went to 2 nights down the line, because they were struggling trying to fit everyone on. It was just mint. The whole Daniel Bryan movement from Punk, obviously not being in the Rumble, everyone kicking off because of him not being in the Rumble, and then Punk leaving, and Punk thinking he's the one that did it for Daniel Bryan when he fucking didn't. As usual, Punk fucking thinking he's the one. It was fucking mint.
It was so good.
Seeing him, was it Batista he made tap out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he goes up to Connor.
Connor the Crusher.
Connor the Crusher, and it was like, mate, what the fuck? And I didn't know at the time. I thought he'd get Brie in there and stuff. It was just fucking mint. It was such a good feel-good moment to end WrestleMania 30 after a shocker midway through.
My number 4.
Is your number 5 actually John Cena and Nikki Bella?
Let's say, it is. Yeah.
I don't believe him because when he says that,
no, he can't go back.
When he says that, he's got that face on there, and I know that's his face when he's taking the piss.
He can't go back now. It's in.
Right,
it's
that's
in,
fine. Then it's locked in. He can't even go.
Yeah.
Actually, my number 5. No, it stays as it is.
Too late now, mate. We're on forwards.
Go on, John.
I've got the streak being beaten at number 4.
I took that out.
I took that as well.
It is one of the ones that I tossed and turned with and debated as there's the next 2 I could have put other things in that I liked. But I think these 2 the special moments for wrestling. I mean, I go off what ones, made me smile, made me laugh, made me, angry, which ones, I had an actual reaction with. And I was pissed when the Streak got beat by Brock Lesnar.
Wrong guy.
Pissed.
I wasn't.
I mean,
my mate next to me was he was in tears, and I'm like, mate, fucking, it is what it is.
I wanted it like, you could have done it with Bray, you could have done it with Roman, could have done it with anybody but him. Because at that point, he had everything given to him and he was part-time.
Yeah, I know why people are upset with it. Well,
so my number 4 is the Streak being beaten and that guy who's forever now the Patrick Star meme.
Yeah.
My number 3?
Naomi wins gold at Mania 33.
You can fuck right off now.
So you always give me shit about me talking about the Manias I've been to. So I've created a list of just WrestleMania 33 moments.
That's fine, but your number 5's got to stay as it is now.
Nah, but number 5 was Super
No,
RKO.
it's not. It's John Cena proposing to Nikki Bella.
That's but yeah.
Which you fans turned on him for. Sorry.
Exactly.
So what's your actual number 3? Naomi.
Seth Cashin at number 3.
Okay. Cool.
I'd say it's my number 3 moment.
Do you think?
He's got John Cena and Nikki Bella as number 5, mate.
Super RKO is my number 5. My actual number 5. But I went through and I was sat there. That's what we're doing in the background while we've been setting up today. Is I was trying to think of 5 moments that I could think of from the both Manias that I've been to.
See, the thing is, this list would have been harder for you to do to take that emotion of their Manias away.
Yeah.
So I would have understood if all 5 of yours were some stuff that you were there for, because you had that extra emotion on there.
So my number 3 was Seth, but it was Seth beating Brock. And say because it kicked off Mania, he had the hot start, and I was like, he's not gonna win. This is where they're gonna have Brock beat Seth, and that's gonna be the start of Mania, and then we're gonna get Kof. Later.
That moment when he beat him.
It was.
I'm just gonna put out there, WrestleMania matches maybe Seth heavy. Just to let anybody know when we get there. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I know at least 2 that's going in.
Mine are very widespread.
It's
at least 2 will be going in.
I was really close at putting Seth beating Brock in, but I have to get the cashing in. It's one of the best moments ever in WrestleMania history. To be fair, the cash-in made me want to go to Mania the following year. Because that were at 32, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. That was one of the main.
32, did you?
No, I wish I would have.
It was shit. 32 was Roman and Trips.
But no, it's 31.
Charlotte and Asuka.
Yeah. It's 31. He's Seth.
31 was the mint one. Yeah, 31 was. 31 happened at was the Seth cash-in.
Yeah, I wish I was at that one. DX and NWO.
That was such a sick rest. The only issue I had with that is Undertaker and Bray were at night. Because it would have been.
Yeah.
Just for Bray's entrance as well.
Whole pay-per-view.
I probably say it's probably my favourite Mania. But that's because I don't remember many things. Like, you're well aware. That Mania I remember because of Seth's cash-in and the Super RKO.
Yeah. My number 3. This hurts me to do. I had this at my number 1, but then we were talking before, and I put something at number 1 that's a bit controversial, but I don't give a shit because it made me cry. This also made me cry. Cody Rhodes finishing the story is at number 3. They killed me to put it at number 3, but John kind of gave me a wobble and was like, "It's recency." I don't agree. I still think it's probably. I don't know how I put it in my 3rd, but there's 2 above it that I think is just a little bit better. But if you think about matches wise, it was a great match between Roman before the Avengers assembled. It was a great match. Michael Cole crying at the end of it. Samantha Irvine crying, announcing the winner. His mum getting in the ring. Brandy in the ring. It just a fucking, and for some reason LA Knight. It was just a special moment. We're all sat there going, why the fuck is LA Knight in there? And then it's only just come out recently that Cody turned around and went, we were friends. We've been friends for a long time. But he didn't. I don't think he actually shook his hand, which was weird.
TNA days, actually. Now I'm thinking about the
Eli Drake.
It's number 3. It kills me to put it at number 3. But when I actually think about it, I actually popped harder for the first 2.
So I haven't put it on my list, and I said to you boys I was trying not to put it on my list because it's so recent. It's because it's such a magic moment.
My issue with that is that recent. If it was that good, then surely, regardless how recent it was.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I was trying to go for this list, trying to go just like take last year's out of the equation for a bit, and then let's try and get something else, because we all three of us could have easily gone number 1, the Avengers Assemble, and it would be so I think it'd be different. My number 3 though is your number 4. I've got the Yes Movement in at number 3.
And you hated Daniel Bryan as well.
Yeah, but I loved the moment, and I'll tell you what moment it was. It was the whole Conor the Crusher moment for me that killed me. Because I remember watching the stuff.
That video makes me. That video makes me cry every time I fucking watch it.
Tell me about it.
And I hated the whole thing, him being injected into it, but him going the Conor at the end, it broke me. It broke every grown man watching it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Yes Movement. Now you look back on it. Yeah, I didn't like it at the time. Wasn't a big fan of him. But now when you go back and watch that sort of stuff, that's what WrestleMania is about.
Definitely. Go on, Ted. What is it? Dean Ambrose beating Baron Corbin?
No, it was. Actually, no. I've swapped my list around a little bit. It's my number 2 is Cody Rhodes finishing the story. My joke answer was going to be Roman Reigns beating Undertaker at WrestleMania 33. But my actual answer is Cody Rhodes finishes the story.
Did Roman beat Undertaker?
Yeah, Roman Reigns beat Undertaker at Mania 33.
Is that what you just said? In my head, I heard you saying Undertaker beat Roman.
No.
I was well confused then. I was like, when the fuck did that happen?
That was my jokey answer. But yeah, my Cody finishes the story. Is my number 2.
What was your number 3?
Number 3 is Seth's Cashin.
It was, yeah.
That joke answer was Naomi wins gold.
No, that's your actual answer.
Yeah. Hardy, but yeah, the Cody finishes the story.
So we know what your number 1 is then, because you said it before.
Yeah.
But you can elaborate on that. Yeah. John?
I am.
Do you want me to go?
Yeah, go, because I've got 2, and I'm trying to decide which one goes where.
My number 2, bar 1, is the greatest WrestleMania moment of all time. Seth Rollins cashes in Money in the Bank is my number 2. It paid me because it was against Roman. But no, it was fucking iconic, man. No one expected it, especially when he lost to Randy Orton during the night. And then at one point, you just thought, this match is fucking dead. Like, it's not good. The crowd are so against it. And we're watching it, and we're sat there, and it's like, is it actually going to be Brock winning again? And Roman's going to have another year before he actually gets somewhere. And then all of a sudden, they're both down, and you hear the music. And it's like, fuck. I was living with my mate at the time, and he went to bed because he had work in the morning. And I had a couple of mates over from work. And we woke him up. Because I wasn't even a Seth guy, but the moment at the time made me a Seth guy. And I was like, this is fucking mint. This has never been done before at WrestleMania.
I wasn't a Seth guy at that point either. So my number 2, I'll go off because me and you won't have the same ones. So I can tell you that now. I'll go, I was toying with which way around it. Mine's the Seth cash-in as well. I wasn't a Seth guy at that point. I proper disliked him because I was full on, you're a bastard, you broke up the Shield still at that point. But like you said, that match was staggering. It was dying to death. The crowd were turned against it.
Yeah.
And now in hindsight, I'm sitting thinking like Vince sort of like see Seth walking around in the background, and go, "You cashing in now? Go out there and get that fucking reaction done." Or, you know, what I mean, was it off the cuff? We'll never fucking know. But it saved that match. It saved the main event of Mania. Him running out, cashing in.
It also wound me up because the fans were so like the year before they wanted Roman to win the Royal Rumble, which was Batista.
Mm-hmm.
And then he won it the year after, and he got booed out the building, even with The Rock trying to come save him, got booed out the building.
That's the worst thing they ever did in that with that win, though. Bringing The Rock out trying to save him.
Either way, it weren't saving. It wasn't saving either way. Roman was just the whole thing with the wrestling fans is you're throwing him down our throats. Well,
that's why they turned on Cena.
Eh?
That's why they originally turned on Cena.
Yeah.
Because
and I was with Cena. The only reason I started hating Cena in 2010, it's not because he was being thrown down throats. He was literally winning everything. Every match he won. And there was people like The Miz, Morrison, at the time, Dolph. And I'm like, these people deserve more than what they're getting than being seen as fucking... And Nexus, fucking perfect example. But
the Nexus thing was so bad.
Yeah, they turned on Roman. And they hated Brock anyway because he was part-time. It was always going to be a boo fest. They were never going to enjoy it. So Seth saving it saved the main event of WrestleMania, and the crowd fucking loved it. So I hate wrestling fans, but that moment, I'm with you. That moment is just so iconic and made that main event so much better.
It was that good. He went cross-eyed celebrating.
Yeah, he did.
Go ahead, Ted. You go your number one because me and Matt's is the same, and obviously we might need a bit of a moment to defend it a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine. So my number one is Pitbull and performance at Mania 33.
Right, okay, so our number one
is
let's move on to quick, so then he's got to have that as number one.
Is my Hardy's Mania 33. So we were there all week doing everything. We saw him at WrestleCon, the Hardys, and it was like, oh, they're doing all the indie stuff. There's not a chance of him coming back. They had what's the fucking called? Like a pre-game, no, like a
pre-show.
What's the fucking tailgate? They did like a tailgate event where they were advertising that you could watch WrestleMania with Jeff and Matt, and doing the broken back.
You bought a ticket to that.
So
got there, never nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, so this was like on the other side of Florida, other side of Orlando, and they're nowhere near, so that's a complete write-off. We couldn't get to the Ring of Honor show the night before because you had to catch a train somewhere else in Florida, to get there, and it was like my first proper international trip away, like proper international, not like going away with the lads. This was like a proper venture abroad, so we didn't fancy getting lost in America, so we didn't go to it, and then when the New Day came out, I'll send you the video because the video is, you can hear my voice on the video at how much I popped. So New Day came out, like, oh, for fuck's sake, here we go. New Day had to get added, and then when the Hardys music hit me, I lost my head. My head went. I just went absolutely wild. But yeah, you can see it on the clip that Matt will show at some point. But yeah, Matt, I was just absolutely screaming. So my mate Luke that I went with was a huge Hardys fan, and it was just wicked sitting next to being with him and hearing him pop as well. It was just a fucking good time. But yeah, it's just it was just a very my favorite moment ever. It's great.
I didn't think it was going to happen because they were on that Eater of Belts story. They were going around every division, every load of companies and independents, and getting the belts and putting them in a bag and then traveling. They're doing time traveling to the next event, taking it. And they had 16 companies' belts in a bag.
Yeah, they did.
And then all of a sudden they turned up WrestleMania. I was like, fuck, they're going to carry on this story mode here? What? No way they're going to allow them to come out with Ring of Honor's tag team titles on around the waist.
Imagine if they would have.
All these like they had like
Triple H
every
probably
independent company. Triple H probably would, yeah. Vince definitely wouldn't have done.
No.
But yeah, they had at that point literally had like you name an independent company, they probably had their gold in a bloody sack they were carrying around everywhere because he had that many.
Yeah.
So they were so popular at WrestleCon. At WrestleCon, they were like the most, like everybody wanted to see the Hardys. So it was just, I like with that point where I realized how popular. I know it sounds stupid when I say it, but I realized how important the Hardys were to everybody as say at that Mania.
So that's why when we did Greatest Tag Team, you put the Hardys at number 1. That makes sense now. That makes sense because of what you saw. Fair play.
Yeah.
Fair play. Did you have?
I think at that point as well as probably at that point as well. I think that was prime Hardys.
Yeah.
Me. I know in the Attitude Era they were still developing and still coming through. At that point, we were at prime Hardys because they could have gone and done anything, anywhere, because it was Broken Matt Hardy, and it was Brother Nero on the independent scenes. So Jeff was broken too.
Yeah.
He was.
They brought Broken Matt Hardy, but brought normal Jeff back as well to WWE. I think that is peak Hardy Boys. And then WWE did what they did, split them up again or whatever, and obviously the rest is history now. All downhill.
Until recently.
So good.
It's really great match with
action. Our number 1. So before we go into it, we've always said on this channel that we'll talk about this individual for his wrestling because he's one of the best technical wrestlers we've ever seen in the ring. And if you ever did a best technical wrestlers top 5, he's probably number 1. But it's so iffy to talk about because of what he did. And is it the same as mine, John? Yeah.
Yeah.
Our number 1s is the ending of WrestleMania 20 with Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero hugging after Benoit wins the world title. And Eddie successfully defended his WWE title against Kurt Angle that night. Now, the reason I've got it in personally, as much as what he did is so fucking wrong, and I'm not talking about personal life. Chris Benoit was my favourite wrestler at the time. I fucking loved him. And the fact that he won the Royal Rumble when no one thought he was going to, everyone thought it was Randy Orton that was going to win that year.
Yeah.
And he won it. And then they were like, oh, well, he's not going to beat Triple H or Shawn Michaels in the main event of WrestleMania. Surely he's not. It's Triple H, Shawn Michaels. 2 of the best ever. And Triple H buries everyone that he has at WrestleMania. The fact that he won that match made me so happy to see Chris Benoit win the world title. And the fact that he held it until SummerSlam when he lost it to Orton. He had so many good matches with that world title. But that moment when you saw Eddie come down in the ring and the confetti coming down, that is a moment that I will never forget. And as much as what he did is wrong, that is my favourite ever WrestleMania moment when I think about it. I was putting Cody there, but then when John said it's recent and just think about it, I had a thought about it. That is my top moment ever. Nothing will ever beat that moment. WrestleMania-wise, it's not my favourite WrestleMania. But that moment is nothing will ever top it.
No. I think for me, obviously, I'm very vocal. Eddie Guerrero is my favourite all-time wrestler. And doing these top 5 lists, it's getting harder to put an Eddie Guerrero moment in that I love because 50% of Eddie Guerrero's finest points or bits or whatever has Chris Benoit connected to them. So I'll give you an example. Last week, on people that should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I wanted to put the Radicals in because the Radicals were such a poignant bit in the whole Monday Night Wars for me. that was the sign of the lightweights were all starting to come over, and the first, obviously Jericho was the first, and then the Radicals, and the Radicals they came in and made a big boom.
Yeah.
And then the standard and quality of the wrestling, maybe barring Perry Saturn, but you look at the other three: Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero.
Perry Saturn was really good, though, to be fair to him.
Perry Saturn had it. Perry Saturn was good, but when you compare the three to them, when you compare them, Dean Malenko probably one of the greatest submission-based wrestlers that we're ever going to see.
Yeah.
Eddie Guerrero, probably the greatest luchador ever, without a mask, with a mask, because he did it with a mask. And as Matt says, Chris Benoit, the greatest technician, the only person I could probably argue technician with. And do you know what? I probably wouldn't, but we're probably looking at Kurt. He's probably the next technician.
Oh, the other person would be Brett.
Or Brett.
Yeah.
But because of what Benoit done, we sort of got to this point now where we're not including stuff. And I feel for me, as an Eddie fan, it's sort of like I can't put that moment in because he shares it with Benoit. And it's not fair because, yes, he did was absolutely wrong and diabolical, but you're taking away Eddie's history at the same time. And as Matt says, this was the pinnacle for me because Eddie Guerrero was my favourite wrestler. Chris Benoit was my second favourite wrestler. You knew when them two stepped in the ring, whoever they were facing, you were getting a fucking 5-star match. Dave Meltzer was doing them back then. You were getting programming. Eddie, you were getting promos. The work was great. But for my two favourite wrestlers, the close Mania, it was the pinnacle. It's that WrestleMania moment. You're talking Conor the Crusher with Daniel Bryan. I mean, we're talking this year. We've mentioned it multiple times. We're hoping this year we get that moment again with Jimmy and Jay.
Yeah, we are.
We got that moment in theory last year when the Avengers assembled, when they all come out and LA Knight and Brandy and John Cena and Orton were all there celebrating with him. We get that at a moment, and it's not fair to wipe that away.
No, it isn't.
It isn't fair on Eddie. It isn't fair on the fans to take that away. And unfortunately, it's got him in it. But he was a great wrestler. And as Paul Heyman says, as a wrestler, the finest, probably one of the greatest of all time. As a person, a scumbag.
Yeah.
And that's the way of... And I think as a channel, we're going to get moments like this now. And it's hard not to include them. Really is hard not to include them.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it because, like you said, obviously, Eddie was your favourite, Chris Benoit was mine, and then Eddie was my second. Oh, actually, probably Cena then Eddie at the time. And it was like, I just couldn't believe he beat Triple H and Shawn Michaels in the main event of WrestleMania. Like, who does that in a triple threat?
Look at it. Who beats Triple H and Shawn Michaels? The two guys that are running the company now.
Yeah.
I mean, the son-in-law of the owner.
Yeah.
And
the best
his
friend
prized possession for all these years. I mean, history shows he fucked Bret Hart over for Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. And Chris Benoit him that night.
Yeah, Chris Benoit went over on top of him.
It's just such a good match, that match as well. It's not
an ex-WCW guy went over over to WWF guys.
No point did I think this match is shit. I'm bored of it. I was intrigued in all of it. To be fair, like, WrestleMania isn't that bad, but Brock and Goldberg. But yeah, it was just we ain't mentioning him because of what happened, and that we don't want the backlash. But at the same time, like John said, you're mentioning Eddie or Ray. You're gonna mention Benoit somewhere down the line, or Cena and Benoit. Some of Cena and Benoit's matches in 2003-4 was so good. Like,
they were.
The way Benoit faced a tag team with Rhino against the Guerreros and so on and so forth. Like, it's hard. We won't do it all the time, but with moments like WrestleMania, you can't not mention it. You can't. And I know people will go, what he did. Understandable, that's your point of view. My point of view, that is the single best WrestleMania moment ever.
And like I said, I'll just repeat what I said before. What Paul Heyman says: wrestler, probably one of the greatest of all times. As a person, and individual, absolute scumbag.
Definitely. Got some honourable mentions. You can obviously chime in if you've got some as well. Roman becoming undisputed champ WrestleMania 38. It was in my list, so I've got to put it in honourable mentions. Snoop's commentary last year. I thought it had to be in there. Honestly, I thought it had to be in there. Austin and McMahon come together at WrestleMania 17 in the main event. Hogan and Rock, just for the moment, face to face in the ring, first time ever. Edge spearing Devon. I think it's overrated. I don't think it's that good, but I know people put it in the list and stuff. So Edge spearing Devon, WrestleMania 17. Drew winning the world title.
Edge spearing Jeff.
Oh, is it Jeff? Sorry, I've got Devon.
Yeah, it's Jeff.
I don't know why Devon's the
was on my
SummerSlam
list.
one.
That's it.
Devon's the SummerSlam one. Drew winning the world title. WrestleMania 36.
Yeah.
In front of no one. Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 24, when Rick says I love you and Shawn Michaels super kicks his face off.
I've got that there.
So good.
Floyd Mayweather, absolutely kicking the shit out of Big Show. WrestleMania 24.
The No Way Out moment where he absolutely...
That was sick. Absolutely made him bleed.
Yeah.
Edge winning Money in the Bank. WrestleMania 21. Tyson, right hand. Tyson, right hand. WrestleMania 14. Boss Man gets hung from the Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania 15. I don't know whether we can say that, but I've said it.
People want to talk controversial. Jeez.
Yeah, I know. I don't think that's why that Hell in a Cell match ever gets spoke about. Triple H turns on DX at WrestleMania 15 as well, during X-Pac and Shane. Hogan lifted Andre. The Streak. 3 tombstones to beat Kane at WrestleMania 14. And rewatching that match back, it was dreadful.
Ooh.
There was
Can I put one in? Can I just say an honourable mention?
Yeah.
The end of an era, Hell in the Cell, Triple H versus
one.
Undertaker.
That's my next one.
Just the end of that match
when they're all three on the top of the stage.
Not near the end of that match. Sorry, when Triple H pedigrees. Is it the pedigree first? No, it's the super kick first. Sean hits him with the switching music. Triple H pedigrees him, and I was like, it's over. Triple H is taking the streak, and then he kicks out.
And then he shouts, "Stay down."
Yeah.
Stay down, dead man. The 3 tombstones to beat Kane, the match at WrestleMania 14. Dreadful, by the way. Absolutely dreadful. But there's Kane botches so many times, and Taker and Kane have watched it. It's on WWE's YouTube channel. Go and watch it. It's good to watching. And Kane's like, I'm sorry. So many times I messed up. Sean's boyhood dream comes true. I've got on there. From the Iron Man. That's all I've got on there. There's loads more. I could go on forever. You guys got any more?
NWO DX.
Yes, NWO DX. Yeah. We mentioned it before, yeah.
Didn't make my list because it pissed me off. Because the NWO came out to help Sting. The one person was at the site against the black and white NWO, the 3 that came out.
Yeah.
By his entire career. Don't get it, but fair enough. It was just a pop for the Monday Night Wars, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I've got the Sorry I Love You, Hogan Slam. Jeff, you've covered him there, mate.
I'll just follow another one then. Cena lifting up Big Show, WrestleMania 20 for the first time. And then he did it again 5 years later, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, he's lifted up Big Show," and it's like he's fucking done it about 8 million times. It's like Rey Mysterio now. Oh, Rey Mysterio winning the world title.
Yeah. You got the Cena ones make me laugh though, because Cena has FU'd 2 people at the same time as well.
Yeah, Edge and Show. And it's like, what, you being serious? Edge spearing Mick through the flaming table. That's 2022.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Shane jumping off the top of the Hell in a Cell.
The Hell in a Cell, WrestleMania 32.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So, Nicholas winning the tag team titles.
That's a good. That's a
would have been in there.
What year was that then? 20.
He's old enough now to come back.
I thought, yeah, 'cause I saw a stat the other day saying he's old enough to come back full time. So I'm like, Nicholas, New Orleans next year. Imagine.
That's what they're saying. That's what it was. Next year, Strowman's going to qualify for tag team. We need a tag team partner. Nicholas is going to come out.
That'd be so good if it happened, man. Everyone would get it because they're all like fans now. But all the fans that have been watching for time would be like, no way's Nicholas back in the wrestling ring.
Yeah. We would pop so hard.
Mate, that would go off.
Give me the Nicholas Strowman tag team match.
Give me the t-shirt.
What about if Nicholas came out to cost him? Saying you gave up our championships.
Typical WWE breaking up a tag team that's not needed. Do you know what I mean?
Well, hang on a minute. He didn't have a choice because Nicholas couldn't appear.
I'm saying if he comes back and turns on Strowman.
Yeah, no, but that's a thing he said about giving him up. He never gave him up. They had to relinquish him because Nicholas couldn't make appearances.
He had his own.
He had school.
Yeah. Bless him. Bless his
But
God,
Nicholas has hated him forever. That he wouldn't let him give up his school dream to become a wrestler.
But that was moments. That was good. That I like that. I like stuff like this when you look back at it. Especially WrestleMania time. It's always good to look back and considering I fucking watch them all the time. But hey-o. What's next week? Are we doing entrances?
WrestleMania entrances. I have picked a joke list for that, just so you're aware, but I won't. I'll save it for the video.
Corbin, WrestleMania 33. Naomi, WrestleMania 33.
Tell you what, Naomi's 33 entrance is a pretty sick entrance, in all honesty.
The only issue I've got with that one is it just goes on for too long because that ramp is so long, it's unreal.
I didn't realise how long that ramp was until
it's fucking massive. No wonder it took after fucking big men to take him. No wonder Undertaker's entrance was the longest it's ever been.
So one of the picks in my list for the entrances. I'll speak about it on the show.
Speak about it next week.
Yeah, I will speak about it next week. But right, it's been wonderful. Please leave a comment with your top fives because my favourite thing of the week is hearing your thoughts. It's always a great thing. But yeah, we'll leave it there. You guys have a great rest of your week. Peace.